Good afternoon, Wealth Hustlers. Tyrone here. Today we have a business case study for you that I think you're going to get a lot out of. Basically, the title of this business case study is Never Overpromise and Underdeliver. If you overpromise and underdeliver in a business or in, you know, anything in life really, you are risking damaging your reputation. And in the age of the internet, where you can get online and tell people about your experiences with a business in a matter of minutes. Okay, you can let the world know if you had a positive interaction with the business or negative interaction with the business. You don't want to play around and risk damaging your reputation by overpromising and then underdelivering. Also, if you overpromise and underdeliver, you risk not getting paid. Okay, because customers not going to pay for something that they didn't get reasonably. All right, so here's a case study. Miss Tiffany Brown, who is the owner of a contracting company called Tribute Contracting in Georgia. She responded to a request from the Federal Emergency Management Administration to create 30 million meals for survivors of Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico. So these meals were supposed to be prepared, then sent down to Puerto Rico so that the people could eat, and because they didn't at the time, and still don't really in all areas of Puerto Rico have the infrastructure to cook their food and do all that kind of stuff. So FEMA sent out a lot of contract proposals saying, hey, we need some of you people to provide food, others to provide water, others to provide cell phone towers for temporary service, on and on and on. So Ms. Brown responded to a request that said, we want you to provide 30 million meals. 30 million is a huge number. So another aspect of this is that when you do work for the government, a lot of times they want you to place a bid so that they can get the most competitive bid. All right, so the government agreed to pay Ms. Brown $156 million for the provisioning of these 30 million meals. Now, I'm led to believe that Ms. Brown, that is what she bid, and she came in as the lowest bidder with a $156 million bid for 30 million meals. The meals were going to cost $5.10 a piece. So if the meals are going to cost $5.10 a piece, and she's got to provide 30 million of them, then we're already at $153 million. Now remember, she only bid $156 million. So there's only a $3 million spread there, and she hasn't even paid anybody to make the meals yet, okay? Or to distribute the meals, transport them, or even get insurance on the creation of these meals, because people are going to be eating this. So this has a potential liability aspect to it. So you need insurance. So she's only got $3 million to play with after she's created the meals for $5.10 a piece. All right. So what she does is she contacts two other contracting companies. One of the companies had 11 employees. So with her, that makes 12. They don't say how many employees the other company had, but let's say they had another 12 people. So we have a total of 24 people working on this project. So if we got 24 people working to create 30 million meals, I mean, each person is responsible for 1.2 million meals. That's a lot, okay? That's a lot of meals for one person. And even if one person can reasonably do it, that's a lot of time, all right? So they don't, in the articles that I've read about this, they do not say what time frame the government expected these meals. However, it's food. People are hungry now. So I'm got to believe that, there had to be some urgency with that. I'm sure they didn't want the meals next year. So, a couple of things that stand out for me. Number one is the price that she put on the contract, $156 million. That was very low. It's too low, in fact, to actually get the meals produced. Who's she paying for this? How is she going to be able to, after she's purchased the ingredients for the kits, how is she going to be able to pay for an insurance policy, transportation, or again, manpower? All right. So she's only got 3 million left. So she's already looking at not getting a profit for it. And you can make the argument that, well, maybe she just wanted market share. Maybe she wanted to just prove that she could do something for the government at this scale, and then she'd be in a prime position to, get other contracts later. Well, you could make that argument, but Ms. Brown actually had other contracts that she had had for the government, and they'd actually, blacklisted her because she wasn't able to come through on those contracts either. So she had overpromised and underdelivered on other contracts, and the government still wanted to do business with her. All right. So the other issue beyond the price was just the magnitude of the work and her apparent reluctance or inability to recognize that she needed to bring in some really big players on this. Now, there are companies out there who, let's say when America goes to war, these companies will come in and they will take care of supply line logistics issues, okay, such as food preparation for the U.S. military. And they will provide items that are needed on a large scale. Ms. Brown, in retrospect, probably now realizes that instead of subcontracting this work out to a smaller company, she should have contracted it out to a larger company, like Halliburton, for example. They are skilled at doing this type of work. In fact, Halliburton is a big contracting company that contracts out work to others. So she's got a price on this that's way too low. And let's deal with that first. Okay, so in her zeal to get the contract, she undercut herself and created a situation whereby she would have never been able to get the work done at the price that she named. So she would have ended up either having to go into her pocket or go back to the government and petition for more money, all right, which would, again, that happens in the government all the time, especially with defense contractors and whatnot. So that might not have been such a big deal, especially the way our government spends money, if she was showing that she was providing the meal kits. At the end of the day, her and this team only created 50,000 meal kits, okay? That's nothing compared to what was requested at 30 million. She provided 50,000. The government said, hey, it's not working out. We're not getting this fast enough at the magnitude that we need. So they cut her off. The other thing in this is that she made an excuse. And in business, I'm not real big on excuses. You've got to get out there and, no one forced her to apply for the contract, okay? She knew that it was 30 million meals. So her excuse was, well, I'm a woman in the contracting industry. Well, you voluntarily applied, and they gave it to you, okay? I'm sure she's trying to make the argument that they gave it to her and set her up to fail. Why would they do that when they needed the meals? Why would they say, okay, we need 30 million meals, but let's play a game here where we set someone up to fail, and we'll do that and not get our meals at the same time. So I think that's a ludicrous argument on her part. I think that at the end of the day, she should have priced this a lot higher, and she should have also contracted with bigger companies. She would have gotten the job done, and she would have been on a path to do bigger work in the future, not just for the government, but for private corporations as well. This could have been an incredible opportunity to have her company really shoot just through the stratosphere. Instead, it was a failure, and now the government doesn't want to do business with her anymore. So be careful in your pricing. Don't undercut yourself. There is value to pricing things appropriately. You don't hear Rolls-Royce or BMW or Ferrari making any bones about the fact that their items are expensive, okay? And neither should you. If you can back it up with quality, you can price it appropriately, all right? The other thing is, don't be afraid to partner with organizations and businesses that can help you get your job done. No business is an island, to paraphrase the poem. Go out and partner if it means getting your client served. Okay, don't be afraid to do that. So that's our case study for today. You can look up, I'll actually link this video to some of the articles talking about this incident. And you can give me feedback on what you think she should have done better. Never overpromise and then underdeliver. You're going to hurt your business. Subscribe to the channel right below here somewhere. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. And share this message with all of the entrepreneurially minded people in your family. I don't care if they're kids or if they're 80 years old. Share this video with everyone who is entrepreneurially minded in your family and among your circle of friends. Thank you for watching. Hustle on.